very good morning to you, and thank you so much for finding time to be with us today. The show is Good Morning Africa. My name is Miriam Ogutu, and it is a pleasure to have you on board. Dr. Matanga shall be joining us in a short bit, but before he comes in, I'd like to bring us up to date with the latest headlines this morning. And I will start with those from Kenya. We start with the Daily Nation. Raila's Canaan, My Dream, Azimio presidential candidate Raila Odinga last evening launched his manifesto promising a developmental state that puts manufacturing at the heart of growing the economy while emphasizing social capital, integrity, strengthening of devolved functions, and protection of media freedoms. The story is on page 2, 3, 4, and 5, 6, and 8. Okay, so Road to Statehouse, David Mwaure Wahiga, George Wajakoya, Raila Odinga, and William Ruto. These are the names alongside those of their running mates that will feature on the presidential ballot in the August 9th general election. The lowest number of candidates since the advent of multi-party democracy in 1992, the Electoral Commission knocked out more than 50 aspirants from the hotly contested race. The story is on page 12. Sonko wins Reprieve over Mombasa race. Judges withdraw orders that restrained Electoral Commission from allowing former Nairobi governor to contest in Mombasa, but Mr. Sonko is not yet out of the woods. Okay, so that story is on page 11 on the Daily Nation. So we shall look at that in a short bit. And then the Star newspaper, the main headline, Raila's promise to Kenyans as he unveils Manifesto, 6,000 Kenya shillings a month to needy families to be rolled out in the first 100 days. The story is on page 4 and 5, and you see, the Azimio pledge outlined there, and we shall look at it item by item. Ruto unveils Women's League to counter Karua wave. That is on page 6. At least 21 died in police custody in 6 months. That is according to a report by IPOA. 21 people reportedly died while in police custody in the first 6 months of 2021. A report by IPOA shows the June 2021 performance report submitted to the National Assembly said IPOA received 12 complaints on enforced disappearance. The story is on page 2. Bodyguards' demand rises as IEBC clears candidates. Police are reporting a sharp rise in the demand for bodyguards by candidates for the August 9 polls. Police authorities say they are grappling with the demand amid strain on personnel. The story is on page 10. And then 2022 general election countdown. We have about 63 days to go. And the Standard newspaper, the main headline, Raila, what I plan to do 100 days in power. Azimio candidate vows to grow the economy and renew fight against corruption by ensuring senior officers sign deed to resign once graft scandals emerge in their dockets. The story is on page 4 and 5. And IEBC kicks out jokers in race for president. And of course, the jokers is in quotes there. We have the best interest of women. That is according to what Ruto now is saying. The story is on page 7. Most valuable soccer stars revealed. That is on page 48. Let me see if I have some papers from across the continent of Africa so that I can bring us up to date with also some papers from from across the continent this morning. All right, so we start with Zimbabwe, and VP Chiwenga remarries. Okay, so that is the main headline. Factional fights tear ZANU-PF. He had a very muddy divorce a couple of years ago. That is the Vice President General Chiwenga of the Vice President of Zimbabwe. So he has finally remarried. And then Daily News, still from there, abusive attitudes not good for unity, Monzora says as 2023 polls loom even closer. And then we go to Independent. Johnson clings on, but for how long? That is from the UK, and Mirror also from the UK. Johnson suffers brutal attack by 148 of his own MPs and is warned he will be out in a year. Parties over Boris. Okay, and the Guardian still from the UK. Prime Minister clinging to power after vote humiliation. Very well. And then the Daily Telegraph, still from the UK, hollow victory tears Tories apart. And then the Punch from Nigeria, Adamu's consensus plot fails, 21 aspirants in battle royale. And the Guardian, still from Nigeria, confusion as party juggles zoning consensus candidacy. That is what we have there. And then the Nation, presidential ticket, Buhari disowns Adamu over Lawan. That is the main headline. And the Daily Monitor from Uganda, anger over luxury cars for speakers. Okay, now let me just get a bit of the subtitle there so that we really get to understand what this story is all about. Because, you know, sometimes, some stories from across the continent never ceases to amuse. And a section of the public and politicians have called the 2.4 billion Uganda shillings expenditure extravagant, as it even emerged that Parliament has concluded plans to buy official residences for the Speaker and Deputy. The development comes as many Ugandans struggle against the rising cost of living. I wonder where the Speaker and their Deputy have been living all these years, because Uganda has not had these positions starting a couple of days ago. So I wonder what the previous holders of this office, where they've been staying, or what is really happening there. But anyway, deals at UNHCR, I think that is on tenders there. But what Ugandans want government to address today, that is on page 4 and 5 on the Daily Monitor. And repeat traffic offenders now to be taken to court, and passport printing back at full capacity. That is what you will find there on the Daily Monitor. So that is just a look at some papers from across Africa and of course the UK, and I started with the ones from Kenya this morning. So we know yesterday Azimio had its manifesto, and I don't want to get so much into the conversation because I'm waiting for Dr. Matanga to join me, and then we can have a full-blown conversation and looking at this the manifesto. So perhaps I'll just take us through quickly what this manifesto is based on. And of course, it is centered on a 10-point agenda. The first one is Azimio la Ugatuzi. This includes increasing devolved resources and advancing a one country, one product program. And then the second one is Azimio la Jitihada. Manufacturing as the driver of economic revolution is envisaged to spur growth to all sectors of the economy, resulting in employment and wealth creation. Azimio la Kina Mama. The program will unlock access to financing for women-led businesses and provide support for women on other enabling factors such as access to assets for production, land tenure, and proportional representation at all levels of government. Azimio la Ukulima, to create an enabling environment for climate smart agriculture, agro-processing, improved livestock farming, and growth of the blue economy. So I'll just take a break right there, and then once Dr. Matanga joins me, we will continue with this conversation. Thank you so much. This is Good Morning Africa. Don't go too far.
Across the continent of Africa, many countries talk about elections. But do these countries know the meaning of elections? Do we talk about elections as a sign of lamentation, but not as a sign of numbers? Do we look at elections as a sign of numbers, and we start lamenting of what happened? How far have we gone to correct the mess that elections in Africa have created to our economies? The retarding of all the aspects of social, economic, and political gains that African countries have got. Elections seem to be one of the tearing triggers that has killed this continent. In Kenya 2022, we are preparing, the country is preparing, gearing towards an election. But this election seems to be very weak. The management seems to be weak. The confusion surrounding the election itself is confused. The information is confused. The voters' register is not yet out. They have broken all norms of laws. And as we see today, the Kenya Parliament is not eager to change anything, or it is sitting too late, even postponing the Parliament for 2 weeks because the Speaker is more confused than the Parliament itself. The Speaker of Parliament of Kenya is more confused than the building itself. A humble building that was built in the 1960s to cater for democracy, as a symbol of democracy for the people of Kenya, has turned into the theater of absurd. A theater of absurd where the Speaker and both speakers seem to be, for the first time in the history of Kenya, even under Moi's regime, the speakers never involved themselves while they are in office about declaring where they stand. I think we have a problem here. The IEBC itself in Kenya seem to be in tatters. They are telling us laptops got lost, BVR machines, those that read the election itself, that transmit other results are missing. We are hearing about this only 3 months to the election time. And the people of Kenya seeing this, or it is only me who is Paul teaching or talking to the Gentiles? Paul a Gentile talking to the Jews? Are we having a problem? My letter to the people of Philippi, Paul wrote and said, remember, there might be the worst coming after me. But today, as I speak, the 2022 general elections in Kenya stand in a messy ground that the IEBC itself doesn't know what it wants, when it wants, how it wants. Voter education is minimal. Voter apathy is real and is going to be worse because the people feel they have nothing to choose from. Because when you parade thieves, you put thieves, remove people and put thieves. When you tell people that your party is Mama Mboga, and then you don't see any Mama Mboga on the ballot, then you have told a fraudulent lie.
And welcome back. The show is a Good Morning African. Earlier on, I just started highlighting some of the 10-point agenda of the Azimio Manifesto, which was launched yesterday. And joining me now is Dr. David Matanga. Doctor, very good morning to you.
Good morning, Miriam. Thank you very much. Viewers, listeners across the continent of Africa, thank you very much. I'm very sorry for having delayed, but I'm here today, and thank you very much for honoring our television, for watching us throughout. Yesterday was indeed a great day for me. At least I saw the final piece of paper. I read the whole of it up to page number 43 of the manifesto. Good morning.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. Good morning. So I had already gone through the Kenyan headlines. Would you mind taking us through those headlines from across Africa?
Thank you very much, viewers. Across Africa, we have the Daily Monitor, and a few days ago, last week, Miriam, I said a message will be passed over to the ruler of the Uganda government, President Museveni, His Excellency President Museveni, to say no. There are certain things you should do, there are certain things you shouldn't do. That this guy, whatever the circumstances are, the courts in Uganda are controlled by the state. The president can decide to say, please. So there you are, it has happened. Silent diplomacy always pays. We said, Mr. President, this man, whatever problems that they are there, but he should not be, because you are not going to cage him from talking. He will talk. And yesterday when he came out, he says, he's beginning where he started, where he ended before he went to prison. So he's out. The Daily Monitor said anger over luxury cars for speakers in Uganda. Everywhere people are raising the prices of their goods so that they can have more money, more allowances, luxury cars. Why don't we pick the notion of the Chinese? The Chinese don't have MPs. I've never seen a Chinese MP, Miriam. I don't know whether you have seen one on the continent of Africa. There's no Chinese MP, but China lends us money. Plenty of it. No Chinese MP, but here MPs are still making money. They want more and more to be in their accounts, big car, roller, so that the village can roll. Experts want only 2 A-level subjects. Which one and which one? English and mathematics. Is it? Yes. Is it the only one? Yes. But you need GP, general paper. That's what some of us did, general paper. If you don't do A-levels, you can do foundation course. There's a foundation course for 2 years. That is the type of system Britain has. If you have done O-levels, you can do a foundation course, 2 years, which does Shakespeare, this, that. Then now you proceed the last 2 years. If you are doing engineering, you go for 4 years. If you are doing law, 4 years. Any Bachelor of Science degree, Bachelor of Arts degree in the Faculty of Arts, it's 3 years, you finish. And then you proceed. That's what they do in London. And the schools are as open as churches. If you don't go to school in those developed countries, especially Britain, I don't know about America, then you must be a very bad person in your life. And this is what I have been singing to my children, Miriam. I said, I struggled so hard to bring you to be where you are. Don't ask me for anything more than that. The door was open, university is open, facilities are there. University, they will give you money, a loan, a student loan, which you have to pay. Whether it takes 200 years, you have to pay their student loan. Because the number in the university, the one that you got the money will never go away. It's your number which shows you went to that university, and that's the real. I think the Kenyans have introduced it here. That's very good.
We borrowed that from there, I think.
Exactly.
Help.
So 2 experts want only 2 A-level subjects, English and mathematics most likely. But you need general paper to know which country is neighboring Egypt. You might say South Africa, and you will not get a job. Where is the source of River Nile? You will say Cairo. It is in Uganda and flows into Cairo. Where is dam? How many dams are on River Nile? 3. Now 4. Ujagali, Jinja Nile Dam, Aswan, and the other one on the Blue Nile, the one the Ethiopia and Egypt are fighting on. Those are the 4 dams that are known on the River Nile. If you put too many dams, Egyptians will die like flies. Because this water from up here, which saves them. So those are subjects that you are supposed to know. And that's why 2 subjects, I don't know which one they will choose. That's the new vision of Uganda, says A-levels. And the Kampala Clock Tower flyover nears completion. That will be very good. While Kampala is just having a flyover, Kenya has got an expressway. Kenya is doing very well on that one. And the Kampala medium, I always keep on saying, if something happens in Kampala, where do you run?
Why? Is it a very closed, small...
Yes, 7 hills. And they are well spaced. If you are not careful, You can't run anywhere.
You just climb the hill to the other side.
No, the water will be going to the hill. And Kampala is known, the city of Kampala, Uganda is known for 70 rumors a day. Each hill has a rumor, a gossip. A day like this, I remember we would have a lot of rumors by now, 7 of them a day. Daily News of Zimbabwe says abusive attitudes not good for unity. Yes, it is true. Mozora says as 2023 polls loom, Zimbabwe is going to pause next year, but there is a lot of regime change apparatus that have been put around Zimbabwe. I'm a very worried man. It's one of the countries that I've defended in Africa for the last 20 years. And my friend Chiwenga did not invite me for a marriage. General, you forgot to invite Dr. David Matanga, but I will come to eat the cake. General Constantine Chiwenga, comrade from Munduli, Tanzania na Chingwea, remarried another beauty. This is the 3rd wife.
Yeah, and the other divorce ended very acrimoniously. Yeah.
Even the first one.
Then here's the problem.
No, the women are the problem.
Cannot be the women.
My General is very good. No, I know him personally.
The other two ended.
General Chiwenga is a very good man. He's a very, I'm telling you.
He's a good man, but we don't know how he is as a partner. We don't know that.
No. The women are on this one. You know, I am one of the few people, Miriam, who says the truth about all this. If it is women, I would say so. But Chiwenga, on this one, General Chiwenga is a very good man. The women, the 2 women, I've seen them all. I know them. I know Jocelyn. Very cantankerous creature. Then this one became cantankerous, worse than one Jocelyn. General Chiwenga has gone through a lot, but he is a man who is not very bad person. He doesn't use military powers to oppress women. If he had...
Did you hear the proceeds of the second marriage, the case? Because
William, go ahead.
Because I reported on it. At least I read from there. He used his position.
Yes, because the woman wanted to take even everything that the general has. You come to take each and everything, including the farm. I went to the general's farm. I was accused in Britain for having fronted for that farm to export flowers to a supermarket called Sainsbury. It's a headline there in the Guardian. Matanga lobbies for Chiwenga's flowers. I've been a malist for a long time, and I've graduated.
So let's wish him the best in his 3rd marriage.
This one will be...
3rd time is a charm.
Yes.
Okay.
3rd time, and
we wish him all the best.
Yes, yes. Marry. Well, you know, Allah, I can't say more than that.
Let's just move on.
But General Chiwenga is a very good man. He is a good... I've been to their house. I've been to his house. I've eaten food there. We have exchanged so many things on Pan-Africanism. When he came here to Nairobi, I think I missed it. Was it a function? I missed that function. The burial of Kibaki, I was not nearby. But whenever I pop in Zimbabwe, I say hi to him. Very good man. Now this time I will think, when I get to Zimbabwe, I will eat a cake. And I hope this marriage, you know more details. Whom did she marry? Did he marry this time? I don't know. Now factions in ZANU-PF are beginning. These are the factions, the same factions that brought Mugabe down. And we can see they are beginning to come again. Who is dividing ZANU-PF?
And is it a fight between the old guards and the new blood who are trying to take over ZANU-PF?
I think so.
Could be.
I think so, but ZANU-PF cannot be taken over. You can, I want to tell you frankly that Zimbabwe has more guns than
the US.
Than the US. No, not than the US.
The US is terrible.
Zimbabwe, almost everybody has a gun, but disciplined gun. They don't shoot each other. They don't kill each other. But in the US, a civilized democracy, they kill each other. I think that behavior, they have also left their bedroom. They have gone to police international bedrooms. So the manners, the behavior, the evangelism has caught up with them. Evangelism has caught up with them. Sorry. It's caught up with them. You know, when you are preaching a religion which has money, you want money, not religion. You go to church to collect money, Miriam. You are not collecting spiritual nourishment. You are collecting cash. The pastor in front wants the service to quickly. And when you reach this song of singing, to bring the small, what is Caesar for Caesar, and what is God for God. That's when you see a church pastor smiling. They are doing this in these churches too. That's why you see politics of Kenya is off, on, down, up. Church leaders are no longer church leaders. Church leaders have become commercial agents of deals across. Helicopters, planes, radio stations. They compete with ordinary life. And how do you come to preach? How do you come to preach to an ordinary Dr. Matanga, who is a sinner, that I don't want you to acquire a helicopter? When you have acquired 2 airplanes waiting, one of them, they started the engine when you are still at your house. To wait for you as soon as you reach the airport, VIP, you are passed through quickly until you are gone. Is it the ministry? Is it what Jesus wanted? That's why we have spoiled our religion.
But when it comes to, because I know you're tying it with the gun culture
Yes.
in the US, I think it has so much to do with their culture. When you look at even their music, the hip hop, it glorifies violence.
Yes.
and bad behavior. When you look at the games the children play, the video games, the PlayStations that go off, I think a 6-year-old boy. And the teacher was talking to this boy, asking him, what do you want to do when you grow up? And he was saying, I want to be a murderer. I want to murder people. You know, murdering is fun because this is what they watch on the shows. This is what they watch in the games they play. So these children, they grow up in violent, culture that as 16-year-old, a 17-year-old, they think killing is an escapade and they see nothing wrong with that. So I think it's their culture. It's a very violent culture in the US.
No, a lot of Hollywood.
The movies.
We have got to accept that the United States of America is facing the gun culture because they started fictitious gun killings. And that culture has grown up in the United States. That every child in the home asks, instead of the child in London, a child in London asks you when he finishes school, Dad, what are you going to buy me? A car. My daughter has asked me for an Audi, the latest.
She has good taste.
Yes, that's what Miriam wants. That when she finishes her master's degree, I must give her an Audi. And not the second-hand Audi, not Mitumba Audi. She wants an Audi of about 30,000 pounds. I begged. I said, Mama, no. She said, look, there's time. Find out, because I've finished what you want. I said it's not me. They want, but in the United States, a child asks you for how many sniper guns will you buy me? The first thing in the US is to arm your child, because he is harmed if he is not armed. There's children started with these things loaded somewhere. Kama unamchezea kidogo namna hivi, anaingia kwa gari, anaenda nyumbani, anarudi.
And not just a small pistol, an assault rifle.
Yes. So this is the problem of United States of America. Churches have lost their meaning. The people don't preach about the spiritual nourishment anymore. They preach about materialism on how to amass wealth. And those churches arrived in Kenya. They are growing in Kenya. Intolerance is becoming the angle of the day, because priests have joined political rallies. Instead of priests sticking in churches to tell us, separate yourselves. Don't fight. Don't kill each other. We are going to reach, if we go the speed we are going, Nigeria is not going to be very far from us. You can see more people, 50 killed. More, yesterday was this, another one.
On Sunday, yeah, in a church.
Another one. The Punch of Nigeria said Adamu's consensus plot fails. 21 aspirants in battle royale. Again, politics of battle royale, talk about it with Mr. Chebukati has caused battle royale in this country from 50 to 4.
To 4.
And I warned the people.
And he had cleared another one who
then he revoked.
This is nonsense.
It's a confusion. I told you Kenyans, now I preach like Paul talking to the Gentiles. So please, now time is not there. We have almost like 2 months exactly. So there's nothing I can tell you more than that. I've said it. Let it come, let's see it, then look for me later. Yeah, because there's nothing I can add on Kenyan elections. You see, you clear a man. Why don't you first of all take his papers and say we shall call you? Why do you bring hiccups? You are an independent institution. You have a right to do that and say go back. You have seen your papers. We shall give you a telephone call. Some of these people, the way you are handling things in Kenya, you can kill people by pressure. People could collapse there and the election could not be there. Yes. Tuambiane ukweli. You give a man a shocker down in the bombers that you are not, you have been,
and he was the first to be cleared.
No, wait first. I am talking from a point of an organized democracy. Counselors should be there, those who counsel people. You see, you have come with your wife expecting a certificate. Then you are told in front of your wife, your children, their daughters, you have carried them. They think daddy went to school. Such things are not disclosed.
But if daddy didn't go to school, why was daddy lying?
No, but the things are not disclosed. You have to keep them, Miriam. We have to keep some of these things. Thank you very much, viewers across the continent of Africa. Don't give people shocks. People could collapse and die. Hallelujah. Nigeria is also undergoing presidential ticket. Buhari disowns Adamu's over Laun. The one. I don't know which names. I don't want to hear anything about Buhari. And I'm coming on Buhari in the next up, the top of hour. Don't miss our show We are going to discuss Nigeria. It has fallen apart. I'm sure very many Nigerians will be online. Don't go away. Confusion has parted jungles, zoning, consensus, and the candidacy. This is all happening.
It's the same thing.
Same thing in Kenya and Nigeria. The mirror, he escaped by 41. Johnson suffers brutal attack by 148 of his own MPs. He has escaped a vote of no confidence, but he has lost power. So in normal circumstances, you will see this prime minister resign because credibility, what is that word in the Kenyan constitution we have been emphasizing?
Integrity, personal integrity.
Personal integrity is not there. Therefore, Johnson is on the way leaving. Will leave. He's like Theresa May. She got a vote of confidence, but later on, when she saw her policies were weakened, she looked back. He said, this is the party that has no confidence in me. She left. It's not like Mr. Ruto.
Except Johnson will leave more disgraced because he violated the law. Theresa May was defeated in other things. Yes.
Theresa May just left. But because all of them boil up to personal
responsibility and integrity. Yes.
Which Ruto has not got. William Samoei Ruto, not Deputy President, my foot. William Samoei Ruto has not got any personal integrity. He's still hanging on to the house in Karen. Just give it up and go to your borehole house where there is a miracle. Maybe a miracle will add some votes. He's still holding on. I'm sure if there was another function to officiate, he will want to be the one calling the president.
That ship has long sailed. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
Ruto has no shame, you know that. When you see the lies that William Ruto tells the people, you can't believe it. That we built bridges, we built a stadium, our Jubilee party. Then another part, rally, he said, that is not me. It was the man came and spoiled our party. So I was not in government. I was in government. I did not do this. We need to be told what happened to all the monies of Cameroon. You can't run away. You are in the government.
That's why we are not coming for the presidential debate.
Yes. I don't know. I want to find out whether Ruto has accepted to come for presidential debate. I wish I was the one interviewing him.
No,
he could cry tears.
He said the media is biased, so...
Yeah, he could cry tears. I would ask him very seriously. Johnson clings on, but for how long? Exactly.
So it's just a matter of when.
Time, yes. A whole of victory, tears. Tears. Yes. Tears tore his party. Tearing, yes. Then tears.
Tears, Tories apart.
Apart, yes. They are tears and then tearing. Okay. Here we are. That is the Daily Telegraph, my favorite. The Guardian. No, not which one is it? This is not my... The Telegraph is the one that give me a headline that Mugabe's spokesman is here. Wow. Oh, no. You will Google it and find out. The Guardian is my favorite, yes. It usually has a lot of responsible, good journalists. Some of them, two of them were together in the campus. One was in Sky News. A lame dark leader and a Tory party that has lost the plot. This is Labour Party paper. So that's why I like it. Telegraph is conservative. That's why they came for me. I woke up I got out of my house. My God, I found a battery of journalists like a 60 wanting to know who this guy is. So thank you very much. It said power, Prime Minister clinging to power after vote humiliation. Will he go? Personal integrity. Let's look at Azimio Manifesto.
Yes, and just before you walked in, I read up to number 4. So maybe just quickly, and then we start on a point by point. Number 5 is Azimio la Viwanda, and that has to do with the manufacturing, industry. And inawezekana Azimio la Wananchi recognizes that whichever administration comes into power, the people remain sovereign. I think that is very clear in the Constitution. And Baba Care, that is the primary focus on social protection and transformation, and secondly, upscaling universal health care coverage, and what I think President Uhuru Kenyatta had started, and waste not a single child. The program will be an aggressive scheme to ensure that all, not some children, get rightful access to quality education. Maji kwa kila boma, a commitment to make clean and safe water available to all Kenyans. And number 10, administrative continuity. Custodians of power must be accountable for the mandate bestowed upon them by the electorate, and then, there are details of that. So, just looking at, before we get into the points here, Doc, just looking at, skimming through this agenda, they seem to have built so much on President Uhuru Kenyatta, what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been doing. They want to sort of build on that as they expand and move forward. So Raila Odinga is living up to his words that, he will continue what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been doing. Of course.
First of all, I want to summarize. Because of time, we might have lost a bit of time, but we shall do. I want to summarize the question of this manifesto. This is a practical manifesto. This is a truthful manifesto. It talks from the bottom of the heart of any Kenyan. Forget about the bottom up, which we don't know. Bottom up is an exercise of experiment on us. But here, the Azimio Manifesto talks about the truth. The Azimio Manifesto is saying we shall do certain things. We shall do education. We shall do manufacturing. We shall do devolution, enhanced devolution. We shall do so many things, taxation. Not imaginary thing called bottom up. You are going to begin, first you'll spend 2 years teaching people how this bottom up works. You see? How the bottom one works. 2, people have misunderstood Raila when he talked about Mitumba. I have clarified it this morning, and I have no regrets. I like controversy. I quote controversy. Bring it on. Mitumba indeed is cloth for dead people in the UK. I'm now saying from the UK point of view. Second-hand shop. Second-hand shops are very many in the United Kingdom, where you get Matanga's suits, and those suits don't fit him anymore. I carry them and send them to the second-hand shop to sell charitable cloth to be sold, and send to Africa for Cancer Institute, for Malaria Institute, for church services, for this, for piano. That's the truth. There's nothing wrong, Raila said here, which people are criticizing him. Raila was truthful that it's better to grow our textile industry. Come back, bring in cotton. Let's grow the cotton industry of Kisumu, Jinja, Naitiri. Let's do Naitiri, which used to export cotton, the best cotton in East Africa from Jinja, Naitiri, Chikoi.
Because that is how you truly build the local industries.
Yes. Don't tell me he did anything wrong by saying, this is it.
There's a time in this country, I remember my mom keeps telling me that they used to just buy clothes from the shop before mitumba was a thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And those clothes could last long.
Yeah.
But here you are, mitumba is packed in Vietnam. You don't know who was wearing this mitumba in Vietnam with a disease of leprosy. Tuambiane ukweli. Ask Moses. Me, when I go to the hotel, I carry my bed sheets.
What?
Yes. I carry my bed sheet. Is here. In my suitcase, I carry my towel, my bed sheet. Pack them. Yeah. There are two things I don't do for my body. That's why I'm 67 and I look like this. I don't mix cloth. I don't wash cloth in a machine. That unaweka kwa all hotel laundry. Wazungu wako very dirty. Wanaweka kwa laundry. That way matanga nivae tena. Sitaki.
But like the hotel, the hygiene is top notch.
I am not interested. Whether the hygiene.
So they disinfect
Ma'am,
thoroughly.
yeah, whether they disinfect, those disinfectants are the ones causing us a problem in Africa.
No, they disinfect.
Can I tell you what?
They kill all the germs.
Now, okay, who disinfects this mitumba? Who?
It's not mitumba now, the hotel.
Even in the hotel is worse.
Because
when you look at...
Because I'm sure you don't go to some two-star hotel.
No.
The kind of hotels you go
if I'm found...
have proper hygiene standards.
Yes, Miriam, if I'm found staying in a two-star hotel...
Unless now...
No insurance will pay me.
You start querying where you sleep.
No insurance will pay my claim if I stay in a two-star hotel or three-star hotel. Yeah. My insurance tells me all the time to stay in a 5-star hotel onwards.
And you have to walk around with your bed sheets.
Yes, okay. They are in the suitcase. Ask Moses, where is he? Kuja.
Then you carry them back.
Yes.
Okay.
My bed sheets, I go with my bed sheet to the hotel.
Okay.
Is he here?
It's very, very strange.
It's very strange, yes. A double bed. Master, what are they called? There's double bed. There is what, another bed? When I'm coming back, nafukunja mzuri narudi nayo. Twice. My bed sheet, my towel. And then...
So assuming you go and stay in maybe for 2 weeks.
2 pairs.
You carry 2 pairs.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
If you look at the way people in Africa use these towels by stepping on.
Yeah, the hotel.
Miriam, you can't go in the hotel without your bed sheet. Dr. Matsanga goes with his bed sheet. And to avoid polonium-210 now, which has come, which Ruto could have, you go with your bed sheet. Is it wrong? Toa bed sheet zako, weka zangu, tulale, pilo, toa. When we went to Uganda for the peace talks.
Okay, that I would call it.
No, wait.
That kind of
when we went to Uganda to meet for the first time after 23 years of not seeing my mom.
Yeah.
We went for the Uganda peace talks. I was the chairman of the delegation, leader of the chief negotiations by the EU, AU, United Nations, and African Union. I carried my bed sheets, a full suitcase.
Of beddings?
Yeah, 80 pairs.
Okay.
In Munyonyo Resort, floor number 5. fifth floor, it was given to me, the whole of it. And I called my people from Mbale to come and stay there permanently. No moving out, no moving in. We eat there. No cleaning it until I left. My people were cleaning. Yeah.
That kind of circumstance, I can understand.
Yeah, you understand.
But a five-star hotel,
where do you go
weddings?
to? Okay, where do I go to a place?
I'm confused.
Miriam, I'm telling you, you go to a place, they serve tea, then it reaches you, then they say the tea is finished.
You just tell them, I don't take tea.
No, I waited until it came. Then I exchanged it with Rugunda to drink. They poured it and said, Rugunda, drink this, let me drink this one. You see, when God is showing you a miracle, you have to be very careful. That was on the table. And the president, His Excellency President Museveni was watching me. He said, oh, you think there is anything in the tea? I said, Mr. President, I came for peace talks, but not you to guard my food. Why did the man... You must think fast. Why did the man reach me and then say the tea in the teapot is finished? I've gone through a lot. So those who insult me, but I've seen a lot, you people.
Okay.
I have a bottle of brandy that was brought to me by a woman from the American embassy. And that lady, we shall ask each other questions near God. When we meet, if I go first, I will wait for her. There are people I'm still waiting to ask questions. They have gone first. When we reach there, I will also ask them questions. That General Tito Okero, why did you bring me to this chaos? That's the question I'll ask my commander, General Tito Okero. Why did you overthrow a government? Why did you see where you have brought me? 38 years, I'm still here, being insulted. Why did you do this to me? I will ask that question before God. God, if God gives me chance. Say, but let me ask you one question first. Why did you overthrow our own government? We ended up, and you also overthrown. Now you see what we have done. The children, we have produced children from outside. They don't know our languages. So don't take chances. Raila was correct. This emanated from the question of Mitumba.
Yeah.
Mitumba clothes are bad. And tell Kenyans the truth. Let Ruto use it for politics. To say, oh, you see, he's going to kill your Mitumba. But Mitumba, Ruto's children, none of them wears Mitumba. What? Show me one of the children of Ruto who wears Mitumba. No, Nioneshe. If you see Ricky, is it Ricky? They call him Ricky. What? Ricky, the thief of oil from the pipeline. That a child is a thief. You are also a thief. So who can guard the house? Huh? Richard Ruto. Does he wear Mitumba? Nioneshe.
I don't think he does.
Nyenye wa Kenya mnasema Raila was bad. To tell you the truth, Raila said the truth. Mumupendi, musipendi, election is not for death.
And we know, Doc.
After Raila kama, no, if Raila does not get the election, is he going to die? Today because he has lost an election. He has lost several. Has he died? No, Raila has lost a lot of elections. Has he died? But he's warning you the truth that grow the cotton,
yeah,
make it textiles here. It's cheaper.
And Doc, we do have textile, these EPZ companies, a lot of them in Athi River, in across, even those ones in Kitui, we saw Ngilu, supporting and starting some there. And they do make clothes that go out of the country, the jeans and shirts and all that is sold outside the country. So if we can improve our production of cotton, and it is possible, because there's a time in this country people used to go buy clothes from the shop. And I'm told that is what happens in Uganda. They don't have mitumba so much.
No.
Yeah.
Rwanda has banned mitumba.
Yeah.
There's no more. And Rwanda is growing the textile industry. It has borrowed money.
It is possible.
Put in textile industries, and they are doing apron, exporting this to US, AGOA, under AGOA. Why do you go and bring clothes of dead people from Malaysia, Singapore?
While we are making this,
yes,
and importing outside.
And then we are importing.
We could support these industries by buying and wearing our clothes.
The best that we can do, subsidize this.
It will be subsidized.
So that you can now buy it at a lower price. Not a problem. Mr. Sebit Orala, yes, I was not a spokesman. I was a spokesman for the peace talks. Peace talks, and thank you very much. I don't say I brought peace. If you are the Orala from Acholi land, you are now having peace. You are even growing your mangoes, your sim. It is this man who went and looked for those bad boys, put them on the table, and they talked, removed them from Eastern Equatorial to Western Equatorial in Rikwamba in the Democratic Republic of Congo, and got independence for South Sudan. The paper was on the signed between Khartoum and Juba, but it was not implemented until we removed LRA from Eastern Equatorial. They were killing everybody, blowing all the buses. So I have a record of a legacy. You can call it. But are you not now crying for me? That you wish? Isn't the message crying? At that time, so most of you insulted some of us. Until we also said, let's shake hands. And we left violence completely. We can't go back to it. I'll never go back to violence unless you give me Rambo style. I know how to cock a gun, AK-47, G3, MPG, all this I know. But if you give me Rambo style of machines, but never will I go into violence anymore. I will not advocate for violence anymore I hate it. The conflict is very bad. It reduced our people to zero. It brought them down to zero. Our nation went down to zero. It's not a good thing to have a conflict in any country in the world. Thank you. So I agree with Raila. I support fully. Mitumba are not good. Yes, Rwanda has banned them. Uganda has banned them. Uganda goes to get cloth right direct from Turkey. So why are you bringing mitumba here?
And even a country like
you encourage mitumba here, watu wakufe na leprosy. Leprosy is a disease that does not cure quickly. Even Jesus tried to heal them. They ran away and only one came back. Tuambiane ukweli.
And when you look at a country like South Africa,
yes,
it is doing very well in terms of, I think it has partly banned Mutumba, and you can see
yes,
that their local industry is doing very well.
Exactly.
A shop like Mr. Price and sells clothes at a
Zimbabwe.
very reduced price.
Zimbabwe has banned Mutumba.
Yes, and sort of there's some dignity. In
yes, Kenya, Kenya munalia, kila kitu munalia. Are you the only people in Africa you cry?
No, that's part of our democracy. That's what we do.
You cry. Too much democracy killed the...
That's the sweetness of democracy.
Too much democracy, Miriam, killed Rome. My sister.
It's true.
Too
but
much.
They can start slowly, but we need to face this off.
You need to tamper some democracy with toughness. Like what Martha Karua is going to do.
Karua will do that on corruption especially.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you have a case in court, standi, wacha maliza. Uliiba peke yako, lia peke yako, wakufunge peke yako. Usifungwe na watu. Yeah. Martha Karua, welcome on board. The thieves are trembling in their coats and suits. They don't have a manifesto. They are waiting for 10 days to publish, to copy-paste this. That is an organization called UDA.
So let me just read a bit of the fight against corruption, because the universal healthcare, we've seen that, I think, building on what President Uhuru Kenyatta has done. On the fight against corruption, Raila said all Azimio members appointed and elected shall sign a specific anti-corruption charter that they shall not engage in any form of graft. Fight corruption in all its forms. Don't want, don't do, don't dare, he said. Raila said he will direct Parliament to establish mechanisms to facilitate expeditious investigation, prosecution, and trial of corruption and integrity-related cases. Raila promised to strengthen institutions fighting corruption, improve their coordination, and apply innovative methods and technology to counter graft. And I think at some point, I don't know, Kenyans have been sharing that he said he will declare corruption a national disaster.
Who?
Raila. Is that what?
Yeah. He said, but Raila will. That is true. I support fully His Excellency President number 5, President Raila Amolo Odinga. Corruption is a national disaster.
It is.
Declare it even a corruption day. Let people celebrate and sit down and see how many. You see?
Corruption Day, as in we reflect on how far we've come as far as fighting corruption is concerned, or we celebrate corruption as part of our culture. What do we celebrate on Corruption Day?
We assess how much we have lost.
Okay.
And find out.
Reflect. Yeah. Okay. And of course, he plans to introduce policies to regulate penalties and sentencing of offenders on the basis of proportionality. He pledged to accelerate recovery of the proceeds of corruption and illicit financial flows. So that is what he said. And of course, Odinga said he will ensure every child has access to education through his ambitious Free Waste No Child's program. I think just tying to what President Uhuru Kenyatta has been doing, we've seen the government has been very intentional in having 100% transition. Perhaps they have not achieved much, but we can see the lens in which even the chiefs back in the villages and the head teachers have been tasked to make sure that every child that is supposed to be in that school is in that school. So they will go out of their way to look for these children and make sure that if you sat for your class 8, your KCP, you must transit to to high school, and then thereafter, if you can join a university, a college, or a TVET institution, but it doesn't stop there. So we can see that commitment, and Raila is also just banking on that and saying no child will be left behind. Now, what I want to see in this new, in the incoming administration, whether it's him or the other side, that it's not just accessibility to this education. It's not just 100% transition to this to our Kenyan children. I want to see an improved quality education in our public education system. And if we can improve on that, even these mushrooming private schools will lose clients, because if the standards are good in the public sector, like we see even in a country like Rwanda or in a country like Germany, I'm told the only children who go to private schools are the children who are not academically gifted, or their parents are always in and out of the country, maybe the business people, and so they need their kids to stay somewhere in a boarding school. But majority of the children in that country, over 90%, they go to public schools because public schools offer quality education. So it's not just about our children getting the education, but can we make it quality so that no child is left out indeed, because we know that a huge chunk of our children attend these public schools.
Yes, Miriam, I am very, very happy about everything that Raila said. In summary, because we shall come back tomorrow to, as people sink down, sink in, and find more about this. We want to dissect let people read nicely and come back. Tomorrow it will be a vibrant debate for good 2 hours, only the manifesto, and we finish it. But I want you to read something for me, because your eyes, this was from, don't read all of it. Former Milton Obote died on that day.
Oh, the former president of Uganda, Milton Obote, died at the age of 80. Mr. Obote took Uganda to independence from Britain in 1962, but was overthrown 9 years later by an army officer, Idi Amin. He returned to power in 1980, but was again overthrown and fled to Zambia in 1995, where he remained in exile until his death. So which part did you want me to
So
read?
now go down.
Okay, sorry.
That one there, which has been highlighted.
Oh.
On the same day.
Ah, okay. You worked under Dr. Milton Obote's government,
yes,
as National Youth Chairman until the overthrow in 1985. And you said that he's your hero and he inspired you to go to school and university, and his legacy will be remembered as a person who built schools, hospitals, good roads, and almost the whole Uganda has footprints of Milton. Even President Museveni was a member of his youth brigade. Oh.
Yes.
Okay. And he was trained to speak English in a good school during Obote's rule. He will be remembered by many Ugandans as an orator. The man can speak for 3 hours non-stop. May God rest his soul in peace. Okay, so this is when he died.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 2005. You see? The same day.
Okay.
It doesn't change. It gives you, it is there. Internet doesn't lie. We were working by the time Ruto thought of going to school. We were already in the government, smelling government, rubbing shoulders with leaders. Commonwealth, Mao Zedong. You know, you go to India, to China, you fly into China. You are meeting Mao Zedong and the head of state. Even if you are carrying on a briefcase, that's very good. Thank you very much. Viewers across the continent of Africa, this is Punchline Africa Television. Matanga and Miriam are doing it the right way. That we shall continue doing it every way. However, how many of you, few of you, many of you, good morning, Africa. Don't give up. The message will go. If you have not seen us now, get the clip and see us. Coming up next is Nigeria. Nigeria has fallen apart. Diplomatic Leaks brings you top of next program is Nigeria. So all Nigerians, open up. Here we come. We want to see the troubles of this great nation of 220 million people. Christians being killed by the flying armed men and Boko Haram and the terrorists. It is a junk of junks of everything. Miriam, you know everything is happening in Nigeria. Everything. Kidnappers, hijackers, bandits, Boko Haram, Fulani Rangers, sword wielding guys, killing Biafrans, killing Western African, Nigerians. There is a mess in Nigeria. Let's have a look when we turn on top of the hour. Let me just take a briefer with coffee. 2 minutes, 3 minutes, we shall be back. Thank you.